What about Vietnam dong or foreign currency? Can we take that?
We can do dongs. I will take as many dongs as the internet will throw at me. Hey everybody, welcome back to Words of Fang here at the Between the Waves conference, btwmadison.com. You missed it. I'm sorry, but you can come next year. btwmadison.com. It's in June. It's in Madison, Wisconsin. So many amazing, incredible people are here. And I have a wonderful treat for you today because my good friend BRETT NEWSKI is with me. Oh my gosh.
I've known you a long time. Good to see you,
know.
Ty.
It has been way too long since we've hung. And you have done, holy cow, so many incredible things. Like, I won't even list them. I'm going to have you list them. Tell the people who are not familiar with the BRETT NEWSKI what the BRETT NEWSKI is.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess our goal over the past 2 years has been just to kind of like upgrade our touring, you know. Mm-hmm. That's how I make my living, and that's basically my only source of income. So, you know, every year it's like, how can we play less shows but make more money? Mm-hmm. That sounds a little like I'm only in it for the money. And I am, let's be honest.
Come on.
But in
By
all
the way, go to
seriousness,
patreon.com/Lords of the Trident, pledge $1, and you will get the entire uncut interview, including all of the fart noises and everything coming from Brett. You'll get everything. And we're going to edit it and put it up on YouTube. But you know,
don't we only do
the
it
raw
for
stuff?
It is weird, you know. It's like we work so many hours. If you break it down, all the hours we work, it's like you have those nights where you do make good money. But if you break it down, it's like, man, I made like $3 an hour this week. I just worked a 75-hour week. You know? That's how it goes.
You do it for I guess maybe you do it for the love of the craft. I don't know. Maybe some people do.
You just have to do it. I think it's a blessing and a curse to be obsessed with something so much. But it's mostly lucky. I feel like it's a blessing, you know.
Yeah.
I feel really lucky that I enjoy most of the admin shit that comes with, you know, playing and touring for a living.
Dude, spreadsheets, am I right?
Yeah, they're not that bad,
man.
Like we were talking about this in our session. The only thing I really don't like to do is music videos, you know, because they're just so easy to look stupid in them. Mm-hmm. So I outsource that to better men like Max Hauser, who's behind the camera.
Yeah. So, okay, let's get right into the questions with a real big one, okay? I've heard from some of my friends and some of the people in the music industry that now is the worst time to be a musician. Some people say now is the best time. What do you think?
Great question. I feel like now is good. I feel like it's probably never been harder than right now.
Right.
But, you know, I do have friends, and you do too, have toured a lot in the 90s, or as they call it, the glory days. Yeah. And that probably would have been pretty sweet in a lot of ways.
The era?
Yeah, where you like sell 40 CDs on a quiet night kind of thing. I just think then the ways of making money were just less and more obvious, and now you just have to be smarter and craftier than you did, I think, at one point in time. But it's better because I feel like you do have control of your own destiny now. It's not like all luck, you know. You don't have to be in that place when that industry rep showed up and saw you and all of a sudden put you on the map and all your problems were relieved overnight. You know, that doesn't really happen anymore. Right. So I think it's a good time. I think it's a great time to be a musician, you know, if you got a good head on your shoulders and you're ready to work at it.
Cool. So you've toured a lot, played a lot of live music, and you've seen a lot of live music. Is there something that you see younger bands, maybe bands that don't have as much road experience as you, doing either incorrectly during their live show, or maybe to put it a different way, is there something that bands could be doing more of to sort of elevate the live experience?
Yeah, there's so much stuff in that question. I mean, a simple one is playing over time. We get pretty astonished how it seems like pretty much every opening band, or 95% of them, play over their time slot, which is, and they're not doing it to be disrespectful, but it is super disrespectful, and it like really can throw off the night, and it can kind of tick off the promoter, and it puts a wobble in the night. So that's a big one if you want to get asked back onto bills, is like play to your time slot. And just in general, play short sets. If they're not making you play for an hour and you're opening for somebody, or you're on a 3-band bill, play your best 7 songs and just smoke it. I think playing too long is a problem most bands have, you know. there's a lot of stuff in the world. Just hit them with your greatest hits and your 2 best jokes and peace out and leave them wanting more, you know?
Yeah. Okay, cool.
But we could riff on that question.
I mean,
a lot,
absolutely. We could riff on a lot of these ones
and
for quite some time.
I'm happy to take criticism on our act too. So if you ever see us and you see, like, don't hold back, don't be shy. Like, if they're like, Newski, you can do this a little tighter or something. We'll take the critiques.
So you're doing music full time now. If someone came to you and said, Brett, man, I love you. I want to be you, man. I just like, just the whole package. I mean, I just want it.
Boy.
I just want it. So I'm ready to like quit my job, burn down my house, live in my car, sell my furniture on Craigslist. What advice would you give to that person?
Yeah, I think it's really important to have some sort of money to invest in music.
Mm-hmm.
I had when I did it, I had worked other jobs all the time, so I had put a nice nest egg away. So when I quit everything else and started doing tough tours on my own, I kind of had a little bit of money to like keep the mission going, invest, and make smart investments in little types of marketing or buying this piece of gear or a new little whatever it is. So yeah, I mean, I think that the number one is like really focus on playing good power weekends, Fridays, Saturdays, if you can add a nice Sunday show. I'm telling you, Sundays are the new Fridays now.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I do I try to play every Sunday, do a matinee show or something early, So.
I think that's the ticket, right? Is getting that early crowd.
And that's universal. Like if you can play, I mean, my crowd tends to lean like 28 plus, into 30s, 40s, and even 50s. So, we're trying to play at 7 o'clock. We're trying to play at 8 o'clock, and that's like the sweet spot where you go home and still have a night and you're not wrecked the next day.
I'll tell you, if my magic wand waving answer would be like, can we please just start shows a little earlier? Like, for God's sake, there's
Are you still doing the late hammer?
I mean, it's not that we want to. It's like a lot of the clubs are like, we usually start the 4-band bill around like, 10:30. Just so we can flesh it out until closing time. It's like, dude, nobody wants to, in today's day and age, nobody wants to be at your bar until 2 a.m. Like, I don't even know why this is still a thing.
That's a dated philosophy. I feel like that's waning. And the promoters that are starting to really kick ass, like the Majestic, the Pabst Theater Group in Milwaukee, all those start 7 o'clock doors, 8 o'clock show.
Yep.
Show's done by 10.
Yep.
And they're selling tickets. People want to go. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, getting back on track here. Do you feel like there are any vestiges of the old music industry, be it booking agents, managers, labels, what have you, that are still very important in today's industry?
Yeah, definitely. I think you can see labels waning in power, so to speak, and agents, a good agent can still make all the difference, I know after like looking into being in the game a bit and like kind of the indie alternative genre, I mean, there's like 5 to 10 dudes that like are like the movers and the shakers, like the puppet masters that have all the great artists. But hey, I mean, I've oftentimes worked with really young and hungry agents who have been amazing because they're so pumped to be doing it. And I've been on bigger agencies on the bottom of the roster as like the smaller band, and like you never really get a lot of attention, because you're not making the same amount of cash money as Portugal the Man or whatever. So you're not going to get any love. I believe you're better off with like someone who's young and hungry, doing maybe their own little mini agency, or doing it yourself.
I love the way that you interact over your email list. I always read your emails because I know there's going to be like some fun story. There's going to be some great advice coming out of there. I want to focus a little bit more on, living in the social media age, and I'm wondering how you feel about being so connected and how you feel about people being able to, email you or message you and get in touch with you as an artist. Do we lose some of the mystique of like being in a band?
There is very little mystique these days. There are a few artists pulling it off somehow. But
I guess what I'm asking is, do you think it's better that in the olden days to have mystique, or do you think it's better to be accessible to your fans in that way?
Man, honestly, like, I think if I could pull off Mystique, I would do it. It's just not my thing, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
You do look
think,
very mysterious.
I don't think I do, but I think, yeah, if you can pull off the Mystique thing, you know, if you're operating kind of as on an indie level, odds are you probably won't be doing something like that. But you know, social media, pretty magical thing for us, you know. I mean, we tour internationally, we get the word out about our shows, we do shows in whatever, Sweden, Australia. That said, I think it's really important to keep it at arm's length and like understand the power that it has over you, because I'm sure we've both been there where, you know, your entire Instagram feed is like friends, bands, and acquaintances, bands like selling out theaters, and you're like, fuck, what am I doing wrong? I need to be selling out theaters next week. And then once you're so absorbed in the thumbing, I mean, it does you no good, you know. I think putting the horse blinders on and just taking a fuck the world Henry Rollins approach to stuff and not pay any attention to what anyone else is doing and just like zero in on being really great at what you do, and you know, doing your social media posts, but maybe taking a few days off, you know, it's pretty healthy. No one's going to miss you if you go on internet holiday for 3 days. All it's going to do is make you feel better in your brain, you know.
I've heard a lot of people say that, you know, everybody posts idealized lives on social media, and that can really make people who are having, or in the current moment, having a tough time. You know, maybe you're suffering from depression today, and you go on social media and you see, you know, everybody having a great time in Bermuda, and like, oh my God, like I'm in a bikini. You know,
do you ever feel better after you thumb through for 10 or 15 minutes?
No.
I don't
Well,
think
actually, you know what? No, here's what I'll say. I feel better when I thumb through and I see friends and bands that I really like having a good time. You know, so at least in the metal community, especially in the power metal and traditional metal community, there is so much like, you know, we come off as this like, yeah, we're like, oh, mutton chops and pointy guitars and angry at our dad and you know, but there is so much like back and forth of dudes in bands telling other dudes in bands that like they love them, they're supporting them, they're like so happy they're alive. I see that so much.
That's great, and that
makes me happy.
That might be extra specific to the metal community too, because you know, it's like indie rock is like a snooty kind of world to be in. You know, it's like you have your allies, but I don't know what it is. People are sometimes too cool or too neurotic, and that's it's all right.
Well, maybe they want to craft an image.
Yeah. There's things outside of the music that are clearly at play. You know, who you're associated with, and that's what I love about metal. That's what I love about hip hop. It's just like, whatever. We're actually just kind of all geeks underneath. You know, we're just friends, and we're not here to like eliminate the scene cred of music. And it's a beautiful thing, you know. So it's pretty sweet. It's something I really respect about the metal community and hip hop that I think that the indie rock scene could really take notes on and utilize.
What's your favorite tip? What's the BRETT NEWSKI tip for bands in general? For artists to say, you know, I want to start getting out of the garage, I want to start making a name for myself, I want to get out there. What is your, you know, TM branded tip?
Okay. I think that all you need is one song. The mistake that I probably made early on, and I see a lot of young bands making early on, is like, oh, we got to have a full record. We got to have 10 to 12 songs. We got to put it out. Because it takes you so long to figure out what your band is. What is our identity? What do we sound like? What do we look like? What's our thing that makes us like a non-generic? We don't want to be a generic butt rock band that just looks like everybody else and can't find the answers, you know, and doing that stuff. So that takes time, you know. You got to kind of, I feel like, trickle out songs, make little EPs, figure out what you're doing, because I feel like once you make an album, that's when people really start making their minds up about you. So you want to be ready when that happens, you know, and you want to kind of garner resources, you know. You're going to know more people, and the more people you know when your record comes out, the better, it's just going to give you a better chance, you know. So, but to boil it down, just have one amazing, great single and a good video to go along with that, and use whatever money you have left to pump up promotional dollars, YouTube advertising, get some traction behind the video so that when you send it out to people, bookers, clubs, whatever, they click on it and it's got some wheels, it's got some people viewing it. So it looks like you've got a lot going on.
Cool. Brett, I love you. You are fantastic.
Hey, I love you too, man.
We're getting hugs going on here. Before we wrap up, I want you to let everybody, this camera or that camera, I want you to let everybody know where they can find you, what links they should look to. Give them the entire thing.
Well, my last name's Polish. It's Newski, Newski. My first name is Brett, and I play it under that very same human name, BRETT NEWSKI, all over the internet and other stuff.
So just
too.
Google it.
Google that stuff.
Google BRETT NEWSKI, and of course.
But you don't have to.
Yeah. Please Google BRETT NEWSKI.
I think people will. I mean, you look like an intimidating figure.
I'm slow.
High as a teddy bear.
Yeah, I'm really. Yeah. And of course, if you want this entire interview completely uncut, you got to get the raw knowledge right into your brain. Go to patreon.com/Lords of the Trident. Do you have a Patreon yet?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, what's it? Patreon.com/BRETT NEWSKI?
BRETT NEWSKI and then the numerical 1 after it.
All right. Go to patreon.com/Lords of the Trident and patreon.com/BRETT NEWSKI 1. Give us $1. You can get the full uncut interview. I'll give it to you. You can put it up on your Patreon. So you can choose whether you give $1 to Lords or to Brett or to both. It's just $1. Come on, fam. Let's do this.
What about Vietnam dong or foreign currency? Can we take that?
We can do dongs. I will take as many dongs as the internet will throw at me. So patreon.com/Lords of the Trident. Give us all your dongs. Keep it tuned here. We'll be hitting you with a lot more interviews from Between the Waves and btwmadison.com. Thank you so much for watching. Brett, thank you so much for being here. You are fantastic.
Good to see you again.
We'll see you guys next time.